Hello, I'm Kelly and I draw things. Welcome back to another video. And I got an Art Snacks box in the mail. I'm going to do an art challenge with only the stuff in the box. So Art Snacks is a company that does mystery art supplies boxes, and you can do a subscription, short-term, long-term, things like that. And they'll send it to you and you get mystery art supplies in the mail each month. And I had this going a lot. I got a lot of them when I was in high school. It's been over 10 years since I got an Art Snacks box, but it was a really great way to try out a bunch of stuff that I didn't even know existed. Like, I didn't know what alcohol markers were. And if suddenly I had one, I was like, ooh, this is cool. So if you love experimenting, love mixed media, or want to grow your ability and breadth of what you are able to do, I recommend them. I think they're really fun. So here we are. I have my box. This is the Art Plus box. The value is like $41, $40, somewhere in there. And it has all the same stuff as the regular box, but it has something to then create on, so a surface, they call it. So it could be like paper or canvas or something like that, presumably. But let's open up the box and see what's inside. And then I'm going to create something using just those materials from our challenge. All right, let's get started. So I'm just using a box cutter to open this. All right, so it looks like I have some marker paper, which I've never seen before. So I assume there's some markers maybe in the box. So this is Yan marker, 50 sheets. That's a lot of sheets, that's great. I've never used marker paper. So, oh, it's made by Speedball. All right, that's a good brand. That's what I'm familiar with. All right. Him over there. So I get a little info of everything that's in here. Let's look at it. Oh, and we get our snack part of the Art Snacks, which is a a warhead, extremely sour. We'll save that. Okay, more info. Okay, so we have the Bienfang Graphics 360 marker paper 9x12, and then Sakura Pigma professional brush pens. Cool. Okay, so Sakura is the same brand that makes Micron, so I bet these are really nice. And then, oh, we have some mystery items in here. Oh, and then this is what's in this little guy. Okay, let's open him. It's like Christmas. Wow! Cool, okay. Oh, I have a little tiny vinyl Art Snacks sticker. Oh, and it's like Valentine's Day themed. That's cute. Okay, and then I've got a couple Copic Chow markers. A twin R. Oh, this is gray, water based. This is like it's a Kuretake. Oh, another Copic Chow, and then a cool pen. All right, let's read about what these are. So 3 Copic Chow markers, Pentel Art Hybrid Techna Gel Pen. It's this guy, and the Kuretake Zig Art and Graphic Twin R, B, and F marker. Alright, so this has actual bristles, unlike these guys, which I'm excited about. So I think this is a great set, and I'm excited to figure out what to make. I'm going to do some thumbnailing, some swatching, and kind of see how they react to this paper. And then I'll dive in and do a big drawing. So here I am testing out all the different pens and markers, and I was really pleased with all of them. I'm seeing how fast they dry, how wide the mark making is, how well they blend, things like that, because I hadn't used this paper before, and I was really excited for all of them. There wasn't one where I was like, oh, I hate you. Like, they were all awesome, which is really great.
And then I did a brainstorm, which is list making or using writing, because I can always write faster than I can draw. And then once I got some ideas down, I'd kind of settled on food and sweets and stuff. I was thinking of what I could make with these colors specifically, and that's what I ended up with. And then I started playing with some layouts and thumbnails and things like that. And I decided going with this ice cream cone idea. I didn't like the hand because I didn't want to draw it. And so I got the main composition down, and then for the background, I wanted to fill it with something, but not something too distracting, so I tried out using the chisel tip end of the markers for this pattern and absolutely loved it, super excited. And then I took my favorite thumbnail and threw some color on it, so I had a solid game plan going into the final drawing. And then I knew when and where all the colors and all the values were going to end up.
So here we are, I have my thumbnails. I'm going with this one right here where we've got ice cream stacked on top of each other with a cone and some fruit, and then at the bottom I'm going to do a cup. I'm not sure I'm going to do it black. I'm going to wait till the end. I might do like a pattern on it. I might do really dense polka dots with black actually. But I'm going to put the Art Snacks logo on the thing. Maybe I'll just use the sticker. Maybe it'll just be part of the art. Who knows? We'll see. Really, it'll depend on how well I can draw a pretzel. But now I'm going to do it big on big paper. And so looking, it did bleed, but not like onto the other thing. So it's got a nice barrier on the back to hold the pigment. So that actually works really well. I'm impressed. So far, I like all the materials. I think they're all really high quality, and I think it's a really great value for 40 bucks. They actually tell you like how much each item is on the paper, but like this is a lot of stuff for 40 bucks. I couldn't go to the art store and get this for 40 bucks, so good deal. Highly recommend.
So I thought it would be fun to talk about the tools I'm using while I'm using them. So this is the Pentel Arts Hybrid Technica Gel Pen. It retails for $3.20 USD. And on the insert that came with it, it says it features a unique tungsten carbide rollerball tip. So that sounds super fancy, but I really like this pen. It's super smooth. It's made to have the same quality of line from start to finish on the stroke. And it dried pretty quickly, so I didn't smear it with my hand, which I always have a problem with doing, but I really like how it laid down on the paper, and it was just super nice. I've been working with some kind of chunkier pens recently, so having this really thin, flowy lined goddess of a pen was really nice and different. Super enjoyed it. I definitely added it to my mixed media bundle that I carry around with me so I can use it more in my sketchbook. But I also think it would make a beautiful writing pen if you're not into drawing and would rather write. I'll probably use it for both. Like, super nice. In terms of drawing, I'm doing everything that would be closest to the viewer first, so all the fruit on top of the ice cream, and then I'm drawing the ice cream back in underneath it. I don't think you guys can see it because it was so light, but I actually used the green marker to do an undersketch to kind of line things up, because the green marker was the lightest out of the three, and so I thought it'd make a good undersketch, and it really did. You really can't see it once I'm done, so props to me for having that idea. And then I ended up going in and using the pink for the underdrawing on the cup because I knew I wanted the design to be pink, and I thought if I did pink and green it would turn brown, so I did pink for that part of the underdrawing. And that was the pretzel, which I was super concerned about. I have had trouble drawing pretzels in the past, and I thought I was going to have to take the little Art Snack sticker, which you can see in the bottom right corner of this shot, and put it over it once I was done because it would look so bad. But I went really slow and I did the underdrawing, and I really like how the little pretzel logo turned out. It's not super symmetrical, like 100% because it's hand drawn, but really pleased with myself. I was like, yeah, okay, you can draw a pencil pretzel. I'm unstoppable. After I finished doing the details, I started blocking in some of my solid black with the Sakura Pigma Professional Brush Pen set. Retails at $14.35 for all 3 of them. And I'm going to keep a little running total of what we add up price-wise to compare that value to the $41 this box is listed at on the website, just to see how it compares. But I used the big one, the BB, which I'm sure stands for bold brush, perhaps. And I used that to lay in all of the really dark, like, black placement, because I wanted to do it as quickly as possible. Then I went one step down and used the medium brush tip to drop in some retaining lines around the whole thing, and then the fine brush to do the shadows underneath, and then I kind of flip-flop back and forth depending on what I was drawing. But I like the 3 different sizes. They were so nice and like fine tipped. I'm not sure they were necessary, but it was nice to have variety when I needed it. Then I started coloring after I got most of what I thought the ink was done. I went back and added a couple things, but I wanted my ice cream cone to be pink, and my ice cream cone is one of my favorite parts of this piece, especially after I color it in. I would eat a pink ice cream cone, but I kind of switched up techniques. I did really small strokes and then really big strokes because I wasn't sure if the Pentel pen was going to bleed or not, and it would bleed a little bit when I would have like too much ink on the paper. I didn't give it time to dry, but overall it stayed put pretty well. I've used Copic markers for a long time, and I do have a few Chow markers already, and so these are like the smaller version of the sketch marker, so they're more economically priced and they fit in my hands better. I have really small hands, so I actually like them a bit better, but I didn't know they were also refillable. That's super good to know. So I did the pink, and then I started with the green and realized I forgot some details, so I went back with my pen again and added them in, and then did the green, and then did the blue, and kind of went back and forth on stuff as I discovered things that I wanted different colors, and worked my way down the page. So for each of the Copic Chow markers, which I got 3 of them, they are $5.49 each, so I'm adding that to the total 3 times because I got the blue and the pink and the green. And thinking about it now, I failed to mention the paper at the beginning, but that's the Bienfang Graphics 360 marker pad paper. It's 9 by 12. It says on the little card, it's 100% rag smooth surface, is excellent for blending colors and building tones, and I definitely agree. It has 50 sheets in the pad, and it retails for $17.84. And then I started in with the Kuretake Zig Art and Graphic Twin RB and F marker. And so RB stands for real brush, which means it has bristles instead of a felt tip. So the 3-pack of the Sakura pens did have felt tips, but this has real bristles, so you can get a lot more texture. And then F is for fine, so it's got a little like markery fine detail nib at the other end. And it says it's the staff favorite on the little handout, and I love this pen. It felt so nice. It's a nice flow. It lays down clean. You can get really fine details and really broad details, and then this is the fine tip. And I did a bajillion dots, which stippling takes forever, and stippling is when you shade with dots. But it was fun to use. I really liked it. I liked how I could do the gray over the color to add some shadows really easy, and this one retails for $5.56. I did think the stippling would be lighter, like I thought it would be a lighter gray in my head, but I think it's because it's so concentrated on the pigment on that one little spot. If I was pulling a line and smearing it over the paper, it would be lighter. But I kind of like how dark it turned out. I had kind of a backup plan if I didn't like the gray dots. If they weren't dark enough, I was going to go in with black on top. But I didn't have to do that, so it saved me a ton of time, and I bet it kept it from being too busy, because if I'd done that, it probably would have been overwhelming to the viewer's eye and held the viewer's eye as a focal point and not had as strong of a composition and eye movement throughout the work. So as I continued to fill the ice cream cup with dots, it seemed like a great moment to thank my patrons. So thank you, patrons, for helping me make this video. I have supporters and subscribers on Patreon who subscribe per month, and you get behind the scenes. There's an exclusive YouTube video each month for patrons. You get early access to all my videos. You get weekly blogs, early access to comics, exclusive polls. You get to vote on stuff and see all the secrets. But patrons really help me fund my creative endeavors. And they allow me more time to make more content like this. So thank you, patrons, for supporting my work. I really appreciate it, and you guys are so great. All right, back to our running total. We did come in over $41. It's actually $16.42 more art supplies in the box. So you essentially get the Sakura set for free, plus a little more. So really great value and really great products. Very impressed. And then I started in on the background. I used the other end of the chow marker. So for the ice cream, I used the brush tip, which I'm a real fan of. And then the background, I used the chisel tip, which it's just not something I use terribly often. But I liked the mark making I could get, and that it was different and it stood out. And I don't know, I really liked how it turned out, and I want to do more of it. So the last thing I do is sign my name, put the year on it so I can look back and figure out what year I drew it, and then it's time to upload it to my shop.
Hello, it's a little bit later and I'm all finished. Ta-da! Overall about this piece, I really like all the texture I was able to put in there, and pattern texture as well in a few different ways. That was something new that I haven't done in a while. And it's a lot bigger than I'm used to working, because I've been working in this tiny sketchbook recently. So this was a great breath of fresh air and I really enjoyed it. I think my favorite part of the piece is probably the background, which is weird because normally that's not how that works, but I like that it's kind of like confetti-esque without being too crazy. It's still a little bit on a grid, but it balances out really well and it just makes it like a celebration. And I'm really pleased with this. I think it turned out nicely. I tried to use everything that came in the box, and I did, which was great. That was a good like bonus challenge for me. But I think this was a really great box for me specifically because I work in a limited color palette and I like working with marker and ink. So it was just a really perfect match. It was great. I had a really good time. I think it'd be really fun to do more boxes in the future, just because it's something to get out of my comfort zone. It's something that gives me a challenge, but it also comes up with new things that maybe I wouldn't have done otherwise. So highly recommend Art Snacks for sure. And if you like this video, you'll probably like this video as well. This is my January vlog where I do a bunch of mixed media in my sketchbook. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Art Snacks, for sending me this box. It was so much fun. I had a really good time, and I hope everyone has a good day. Bye.